welcome back. And guys, we appreciate your feedback and we always give you a way how you can get bundles, raisi, cheap, because the lazima Kenya economy to work it. So guys, Telcom got you. So Telcom Share Life is making it so easy to share those funny memes. All you have to do is dial *544# and for 49 bob get 500 MB, valid for 24 hours, free WhatsApp, 60 minutes off net, free Telcom to Telcom calls, Mohahe, Katambe, and free 500 MB night data from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. And for 99 bob only, you get 2 GB valid for 24 hours to check us out, and free WhatsApp, free 60 minutes off net, free Telcom to Telcom calls, and free 2 GB night data from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Telcom Share Life. It's got you. Yes. And Maria,
oh yes,
what is happening on our media handles?
Our media handles on Facebook, we have hey Gina Swabra anasema, hey ladies, looking glamorous kama kawa, I'm locked from Tana River. As for me, when you expect anything from anyone, you'll end up being disappointed. So the best thing, don't expect much from people. Say hi to Kush. Hi Kush.
Hi Maria.
Hi ladies, love you from Nairobi CBD. I've learned sorry, this is Bridget. Hi Bridget. Ladies, love you from Nairobi CBD. I've learned that expectations lead to disappointments and hurt, and you can't even show someone at times. So it's best to get surprised and not to expect so much expectations from people. Aki Maria, patia Jackie hiyo high five ndio achangamke. Yeah, so guys, continue kaini tu hapo tu muendelee kutuma hizo ma comments kwenye Facebook, si ndio?
Yes, we do also have some more feedback on Facebook. Vienna Jones, Jerry says, Maria, welcome. I'm already in love with you. Jackie, my all-time favorite, Cushion Anonymous, love you girls. You rock on our screens. Thank you so much. We're loving the show. From Utawala. Essie says, looking cute ladies. Mom James said, also, you should not have many friends. They will fail you. Kuna wawili watatu wakusaidia. Another one says, I agree with Maria, tenda wema enda zako. One says, at least leo nimeona Jackie akismile. One is watching from Nyandara County and says, a big hi to us guys. And then Venecio Ndirango says, WCW, Kwako, Kush, Tracy. Thank you guys so much for your feedback. Jackie will be introducing our guest who is in studio.
So guys, our guest is in studio. She is the beautiful former Miss Indian Kenya and now a businesswoman. Yeah! Pinky Ghelani, welcome!
When you introduced me as former Miss India Kenya, you know that's coming up to 20 years. I know, right? Hello, baby.
Okay, we were like, oh my God, gosh. 20 years.
Yeah, wow.
20 years next year.
Next year.
You actually look 20.
Thank you.
Welcome to Chat Sport.
Thank you.
Welcome. So you're so many things, and a lot of young women, young ladies look up to you. And in most cases, we find that you do motivational speaking to inspire young girls.
Yes.
And you're for self-love, self-appreciation, self-worth. What got you into that? What got you into that space that you actually want to just inspire and get young ladies to love themselves and appreciate themselves for who they are and what they are?
So basically, I take a lot from my journey, where I've been, where I've come from, what I've gone through. Recently, about 3.5 years ago, my mom fell ill, and she had a stroke, which means that the brain was affected, and she is now in a wheelchair and she cannot speak. So that was my biggest motivation to push people to love themselves, because I saw from my mom that she didn't give herself enough love. Another thing, when I look at the youth of Kenya today, I think we are very talented. I think Kenyan women are extremely talented, exceptional, but there's not enough self-love and there's not enough self-respect. So this is my main aim, is to push that, to drive that, to focus on how women can actually figure out what they're worth without going in wrong directions.
So you have projects that you're working on. In particular, one with the UNHCR.
Yes.
And then you also are working on the Luku Luku campaign. Let's talk about that, the inspiration behind you getting involved with these type of projects and what you've been able to do so far.
So my role with UNHCR is I'm a high-level influencer. That's what they call it, an HLI. And I'm supposed to use my platform to bring awareness to the plight of refugees, not only within our borders, but within the whole of Africa. I really believe that as Africans, we can take care of our problems. You know, we don't really need outside help, but we need to believe that as well. We need to be our brother's keeper or our sister's keeper. So, like I said, my role is to raise awareness on refugees. And one thing that I'm really passionate about is, again, the refugee woman, the refugee girl, and empowering. And an empowered woman is a driven woman, a woman with dignity, if you will. They go through a lot, refugees.
Yeah.
And crossing a border is never an option. You know, it's never something that they decide. It's like, oh, you know, I'm going to cross this border today. I'm going to walk all these miles. No, it's something they're forced to flee. So one thing that's coming up on the 8th of September is the Step for Safety Walk, and it's organized by UNHCR. And, you know, people can participate. We're looking for all sorts of people to sort of feel like what it feels. Of course, it's only a 20-kilometer walk. I mean, refugees walk much longer, months and, you know, days, nights, and just to feel what it is to be in the shoes of a refugee. Yeah.
And let me just ask, what is that one mantra you live by as a woman who's empowered, who's trying to drive that fact home to young girls?
So again, it goes back to that self-love. You know, and I'm not talking about being egotistical when you say I love myself. It's self-love is very difficult. And I think you have to be shook in order for you to be able to understand what that means. Yeah. So, you know, it's loving yourself, whether you're 5 kilos overweight, whether you're broke, whether you don't have somebody who loves you back. It's it's accepting yourself for where you are, and that's my mantra.
Oh, awesome. So tell us your opinion about the emergency stage talk and how it's changed people's lives.
The emergency...
The emergency stage talks.
The emergency stage talks?
Yeah, or the emergence of stage talks. You did do TED.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So the stage talks that I'm involved in, I also do something called What Women Want. It's a weekly platform.
Tell us about that.
Let me just talk to you about the TED Talks, the TEDx Talks that I've done. I think it's very important. You know, we're losing ourselves to the screen. I can see a lot of screens here. And as you know, as the human race, we're losing ourselves to screens, which is not, it's you know, there's a good thing and there's a bad thing when it comes to the way we are connected today. But I feel like we need to bring ourselves out of it, which is why we do What Women Want. Is we want people to remember what it is to have a conversation with other people, to network, to build themselves. In regards to the TEDx Talks that I've been privileged to do, I've spoken about our morals as Kenyans, and again, it goes back to the whole thing of self-love. And the other topic that I had discussed is living in the present moment. I just think it's important to have these conversations. It's important to talk. It's important to empower other people through your experiences. And clearly, reaching 20 years of Miss India Kenya, I have a lot of experience.
You've been through a lot.
I've been through a lot, and I'm happy to share it.
And what if you tell us, you have a child, right? It's
Two
two babies.
Two babies. Yes.
Boy and a girl.
Girl and a boy, yes.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So how is it? How has being a mother? How has it changed you?
Oh, okay. Being a mom is very. Are any of you moms?
Yes.
That corner.
Okay.
Like we're in the
This corner. So you know,
Yeah.
they humble you. Children humble you. And I always say that we have to check ourselves as parents, you know, because really, as much as our children come through us, they don't belong to us.
It's true.
And you know, they will teach us lessons. They will really
your
be,
patience.
yes. But we have to be able to allow them to be who they need to. Again, it's empowering them in the right way.
And I just have to ask, tell us about the Luku Luku campaign. For most Kenyans, mnajua ngoma inaitwa Luku Luku, but it's not that Luku Luku song. Luku Luku, but it's not that one. So tell us about the Luku Luku campaign.
So Luku Luku is a part of the UNHCR campaign that I was talking about. Basically, because in Africa we talk a lot about tribes. So Luku Luku is a tribe. It's a non-word. Luku Luku is not a word. So when we were coming up with this whole thing of Africans being involved with what the refugees are going through, the idea was to give it a tribe name. So it's the Luku Luku tribe. Then that's how we are involved with UNHCR.
It's interesting. Luku Luku tribe.
Yeah.
Let's have a segment where we play a couple of
I've
games
heard.
before we continue
I'm
with the
nervous.
interview.
Yeah.
So guys, right about now, GameSpot. Yes, Kadhango leo ni moja. Lakini ina majibu. So inaitwaje? Yes, this one and that one. So there's no shoe game, as you guys can see. And we're gonna be doing the 5-second rule. So you'll be naming 3 things under a certain category, and you name them in 5 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
3 things. Pinky, I'll start with you.
Oh, yes.
Of course you
I'll start with you. I'll give you the easiest. 3 colors of the Kenyan flag.
Black, red, green.
The other one?
Wait.
That was easy.
So easy.
Jackie?
Do we win a car?
Okay. So this one is for everyone.
All right.
3 countries a Kenyan can visit visa-free. 3 countries.
Tanzania.
I was thinking of the islands.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the islands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a
Thailand,
passport.
Maldives, and Tanzania.
Yeah.
Guy, now you
Nice.
know. Now
we know.
Now you know.
I think Maldives.
Now una passport abado zarini. You can
Even
still
Mauritius.
travel. Yeah. Noni. 3 female senators. But okay, for everyone.
Thank you, Coach.
Senator.
Senator.
Sakaja.
Female.
Sorry guys, I just had 3 sentences.
You were quick to answer that one, Jackie.
Hey,
What's her name?
that's
I
the one who
answered.
got married the
Yeah.
other day. Is she a senator or a governor?
Yeah, Waiguru.
Waiguru is senator or governor?
Yes. No, she's a governor.
She's a governor.
Governor. Okay, what's it for hivi? You see when you're passing Mombasa Road on the highway, you'll see those things and then direction senator of where, governor of where. Please pay attention when you're in traffic.
I'm enjoying this.
Okay? Pay attention. Okay, I have no idea.
That's really bad.
Okay, 3 Kenyan female socialites.
Vera Sidika.
Corazon.
Huda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pinky is quiet.
I don't know about that term socialite.
Pinky, 3 songs by Nyashinsky.
Free,
Oh.
Marathon Runner, and
The obvious one. That's what which I'm looking for.
which one is it?
I'm not even seeing.
Malaika.
Yes! That's the
3 Kenyan cosmetic brands.
Huda.
Pauline Cosmetics, Susie Beauty,
Susie Beauty and Huda, yay!
and also Joanna Kinuthia.
Joanna Kinuthia, yeah.
Guys,
She did not even know one.
That's a lie, Huda. It's a lie. Huda could be everywhere. So, the other ones I was like,
Susie Beauty is in all malls.
yeah, we knew
At least.
Yes.
yes, we knew.
Wish you were holding that. You didn't.
Kush.
Pinky, 3 tallest buildings in Nairobi.
That one in Upper Hill.
Goodness me.
What did you tell us?
Is KICC
Tower,
still there?
KICC.
KICC.
And that one in Upper
We
Hill.
will just
You
say
told us
yes.
the name, Juicy.
Lemak.
Lemak.
And then another one.
Okay. I'll believe
Another
it.
building.
Oh, the
3. It's only
we have
really
mentioned.
KICC and Lemak.
Times Towers.
Sulema Times Tower.
Delta Towers, is that what they're called? The ones in the Westlands?
Delta is not. Is it?
Delta.
Delta is not.
Nairobi County.
So,
It's okay. It's within
Guys, come on. 3 colors of the Ugandan flag.
red, black, yellow.
Yellow. Guys.
Okay. 3 traditional Kenyan breakfast meals. Pinky?
There's arrowroot and tea,
Nini.
sweet potato and tea.
Githeri. There are people who do githeri.
Turungi.
Turungi na githeri.
Turungi na ugali. Na mahindi choma, mahindi boiled. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
how about operation? Do you know what operation is?
Operation.
The chapati and mayai. The
It's
chapati
chapati
mayai.
Well, there's that. There's
Chapati
also
rice,
mandazi,
operation.
and you cut it to samosa.
Operation. Oh, yeah.
Pinky, you've had a mandazi and you cut and put a samosa inside.
and it is
Called a
health.
operation.
Yeah, dunia
operation.
tutachoka
Oh my
But
kushtuka.
it was called that in the 90s, maybe.
What, we have to take a short commercial break.
remember.
Tutafakari ya Pinky kwenye mandazi na samosa pamoja.
Yay.
We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
All right. So guys, we have your feedback, people, and this is Ivy. Ivy Nikita. Tunataka kujua signs za cancer. Mtu ukitaka kujua umeadhirika, signs ni zipi? Tafadhali ask Pinky. Hey girls, ask Pinky what's her secret to staying young forever. Pinky.
I don't think I can say that.
Then Iman James asked, is the government supporting them in any ways? That is your foundation. And then waiting to hear from Pinky, that one we've seen. What about what men want and their mental wellness? Gender unbiasedness. Yeah, so guys, continue. Hakuna feedback zingine. Endelee tu tuned in.
Yeah.
Noni?
Yeah, so on SMS I do have a few people saying, this is Ruben kutoka Kisumu, Shweko Sawa. Another one says, hey ladies, looking great. One says, looking good, my people, nawapenda bure. Maria should stay for good. It's a war, always tuned in. Hey ladies, you guys look amazing. I've been away for a while, but I'm glad to be back. One does ask Jackie. They say, Jackie, please tell me what you do with your hair. Please inbox Jackie for details about her hair.
Even me, I'm like, Pinky, I can't say it on here.
Yeah. Oh my God. One says, hey ladies, you guys look amazing. This is Eunice watching from Bamburi. One just say, hey pretty ladies, regarding the topic, one should not put extra expectations on someone. You may get disappointed. It's Dawn Bryan. Another one says, that's mine.
So Pinky, if we can go back to, oops, I forgot it. So okay, I don't know why people ask like, how cancer and and then
you
secret
actually
staying
do a lot of charity and fundraising, and that has led you to you work with Nairobi Women's Hospital. So I think that's where the question
a lot of
From the cancer.
I do a lot of I mean, since my radio days as well, breast cancer awareness was a big deal for me. So that's coming up in October. And I just think, you know, cancer is something that needs to be addressed over and over again. It's something that we need to check ourselves, especially lifestyle-wise. What are we doing? And, you know, there's a lot of unhealthy stuff in the market now. You know, before it wasn't as bad as it is now. So what are we eating? What are we consuming? And just be on top of our health in regards to it's prevalent.
Yeah, I mean, and on that note, you said, so she said it herself, you look 20. And that's interesting because a lot of people would want to know what do you feel are some of the things that have kept you looking young and radiant?
Wow, okay, so one thing that my mother taught me, and I will teach all of you today, is to age gracefully. Never be in denial about your age. I'm not in denial. I'm enjoying getting older. I think it's a blessing to get older. And I'm, having said that, I'm not sort of just, you know, there is a hashtag saggy boobs matter, but I'm not, I'm not letting things sag. I do maintain a certain lifestyle so that I'm able to continue, because this is the money maker, right?
Yeah.
So I have to drink a lot of water. I do a lot of yoga. I do something called face yoga, you know, to keep those wrinkles away. I'm not too much into putting chemicals into your body. So the more natural you are, I feel, the more you're able to keep young. But I always say this to my sisters with more melanin in your skin. You guys are going to age beautifully. I think, Black women age amazingly.
True.
So when I hear that, I'm like, oh my God, you guys have nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
And tell us
okay.
about the. I wanted to know about the pink foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, last we had it was a collaboration with Rafter.
Yes, that's right. So again, going back to my radio days, it stood for people in need in Kenya.
Pink.
And yes, because I was allowed to do so much on radio in regards to CSR, that's where I teamed up with Rough Tone, and we did a lot of work with kids. We've gone into so many different areas within Kenya, and we've never stopped. It's just Rough Tone got really busy. I became a mummy, and it's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And of course, you've been working with a lot of top brands for their social media content, showing their luxurious lifestyles, luxury, living the glam life, So tell us about that. A lot of young people don't think they can actually make something from being influencers online or packaging yourself in a manner that you're able to put yourself in a situation a certain brand can be like, can we work with you? Can they approach you? Tell us about that.
Okay, so I recently I've been talking about this a lot. There's an article I shared, I think yesterday on my Facebook, about how the age of the influencer is now dying and the age of the amplifier is coming up. So what is the difference between an influencer and an amplifier? An amplifier is somebody who amplifies your brand. An influencer is somebody who actually makes you go out and buy your brand. So there is a fine line between that. Everybody calls themselves influencers, but then are you actually really able to influence somebody to change a brand? I believe we are all influencers. I believe that whether you have this amount of following or this amount of following, you're an influencer because somebody somewhere is listening to you, learning from you. I did a course, a talk at Strathmore Business School where I talked about personal branding. And I think that is very important, especially when you want to come into this public sort of arena. You need to have a strong personal brand. And you need to place yourself in a really good light. So as much as, showing a bit of skin will get you a lot more followers, you have to think very carefully about what content you put out there because that digital footprint is there forever. So, you may think, I'm 15 or I'm 18 and I can do this, but when you want a serious job, when you're 25 or 27, employers will look at that. They will now start looking at your social media. And if one day you want to do stuff like with the UN, they will do due diligence. So be very wary. We are moving into uncharted territories. We don't know where social media is taking us. But I would say whatever content you're putting out there, just be cautious.
So in your past talk, you spoke about toxic friendship. So we would like you to just, the lessons you've learned when it comes to friendship and being a brand leader and keeping friends and just encouraging young girls out here.
Oh man, that's a difficult conversation to have. I think, somebody said to me, friends come in for a reason, season, and a lesson. And I really believe that. And I think once you're able to accept that, relationships will continue to evolve. Some relationships you may feel are worth keeping. Some are, you grow out of them. And I would say, look, toxic friends, steer clear. It's very easy for me to sit here and say that, but I've made my mistakes with friends. I think we have to be able to support each other, as women. I even posted this today on my Insta stories that if you think it's a competition, if you can't see me doing better, and you think it's a competition, we can't be in each other's lives. It's not a competition. If you go a bit, 10 steps forward, I, as your friend, should be cheering for you and clapping for you. And if I want to be where you are, how did you do it? It's not a bad thing to ask. It's not, you don't look bad, especially if you guys are real, if the friendship is real. I think nowadays there's a lot of fake
People.
Very many.
There's a lot.
Very many.
So authenticity is something that needs to be a part ingrained within us.
Yeah.
And, you know, you should be able to be strong enough to walk away.
Yeah.
And you know, talking about having a support system, someone who cheers you, you're a very strong woman. And for most guys, they'll be very intimidated by the person that you are. But your hubby is there. He supports you. So tell us, how is it like having him as your support system? You know?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
first of all,
balancing also
Raj
marriage.
is delicious.
Oh, it is. Drop smash, you can
He
go.
is, yeah, right? He's yummy. But the thing between him and I is he's seen me before all of this. He was in my life before all of this. And he's seen me grow. What I think complimented me is that he didn't want the limelight. He was not after it at all. And, you know, he'd take me to events and he'd be like, you go do your thing, I'm sitting in the car waiting for you. And I would take 4 hours and he'd come back and I'd come back into the car and he'd be like, okay, let's go. There's, you know, there was no sulking, there was no moods. He was fully supportive and continues to be fully supportive of what I do. But again, he's a very confident person within himself. He knows who he is, therefore he's able to support who I am and who I want to be.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
So, as we wind up, any current or future projects that Pinky is planning?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is
And
wild.
you know, you've talked about a charity, yeah?
Yes.
Not charity, the walk, the
Step for
little
Safety.
walk.
Yes.
So like, where can guys like just go and chill as they wait for the details so that they can take part and come through and support you?
So we have, there is, oh gosh, I've forgotten the link. But there is you can actually, can I do this?
Yes,
You can follow me on Instagram at Pinky Ghelani, and I have all the details on there. There's an M-Pesa number. It's 1,500 shillings to
Camera
register.
three.
Yes, so
Talk
at
to the
Pinky
people.
Ghelani, follow me. It's 1,500 shillings to register. We need as many people as we can get for this walk. We're trying to raise some funds. And we're also, of course, raising awareness about refugees. You can see what refugees are doing around the world. You know, if you empower them, they're going to change the world. And it is up to us, like I said before, to be our brothers or sisters' keeper. Can I just add? Because
You
there was
can add.
there was a comment made as well about what about men's health?
Yes.
At What Women Want, we are big on mental health, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. We're talking about mental health overall. We have specified talks where we've talked about men's mental health, and I think it's a big deal in this country. We need to take it very, very seriously. If somebody is in pain, I think we need to be able to listen to them, and if we can't listen to them, we should be able to say, look, I understand where you're coming from, but seek help. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. And if you feel that you are going through something, reach out. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, I know. Because we just have like a few minutes, we wind up the show.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your opinion on how you able, like our life spot today. Our topic was on managing yours and
other people's.
theirs expectations.
Right.
So, what tip or what can you tell them? Like, how do you manage yours and theirs expectations?
Wow. Okay. So for me, like, it just all comes back to that whole thing of self-love. Once you love yourself enough, you sort of just walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. And that includes people, it includes food, it includes TV shows, it includes, you know, Instagram accounts. You walk away from it all. And you also, the person that you expect from the most is yourself. And that's a person who won't let you down.
So, do you love you? Hashtag self-love, hashtag self-worth, hashtag Pinky said it, hashtag Pinky was here, hashtag is about to go because there are no more hashtags. But you guys, we got you. Manze, check out the repeat 11 p.m. tonight, 11 to 12 usiku. We are your midnight snacks. Snacks. So guys, we're going to see you tomorrow, same time, same place with the beautiful four ladies.
Bye.
Tune in. See ya.
Bye.